How's it going? Dr. Benjamin Hardy here. Just wanted to let you know that down below in the link in the description, you can click a link, put your email in, and get a free Kindle version of The Gap in the Gain. The Gap in the Gain is an incredible book I just authored with Dan Sullivan the first time I read his little book. Dan is the co-founder of Strategic Coach. Strategic Coach is the #1 entrepreneurial coaching program in the world. Dan has been coaching successful entrepreneurs for like 45 years. Like, he's in his late 70s, and he puts out these little books that he gives mostly internal to his high-level clients. And the first time I read his little book called The Gap in the Gain, this was about 3 years ago, it completely blew my mind, completely changed how I view life, changed how I view success, changed how I measure myself, changed how I measure my progress. The gap is whenever you measure yourself or a circumstance against an ideal in your head. We're trained by society to measure ourselves against ideals, and an ideal is like the horizon in the desert. It doesn't matter how much you chase that horizon, it's always going to be out of reach. It doesn't matter how much you progress or evolve as a person, your ideals keep moving like the horizon, and if you're always measuring yourself against the horizon or against your ideals, then you always feel like you're let down, and what you're doing is you're devaluing your progress, you're devaluing your situation, and that ultimately creates what psychologists would call the hedonic treadmill, where you're running and running and racing to get to happiness, and sadly you're just staying in the same place. So that is the unfortunate way that most people have been trained to succeed, the unfortunate way that people have been trained to find happiness. And it's in American culture. Even in, the Declaration of Independence, it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's a sad idea that happiness is only something you ever pursue, but nothing you ever actually realize. It is not about pursuing happiness. Psychological research shows that happiness is the starting point of all learning, growth, and performance. And so you've got to actually make happiness right now. And you do that by measuring your gains rather than measuring the gap. Measuring the gain means you only measure yourself backwards against where you were before. So rather than Benjamin Hardy worrying about you, the listener, and worrying about what you think about me, I only worry about myself and about where I was a year ago. I measure Benjamin Hardy versus where he was a month ago, a week ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, and I'm only measuring my gains. And also, I learn how to transform every experience into a gain, even transforming trauma into a gain to create post-traumatic growth and anti-fragility. So down below, there's a link where you just put your email in, and we will immediately send you a code so that you can get the free Kindle version of The Gap in the Gain. I bought like 10,000 copies so that we could give those out to people. So check out The Gap in the Gain, learn to measure your life and your experiences more correctly, and also learn how to transform every experience into a gain and get yourself out of the gap, because the gap is an endless race to nowhere. And once you get into the gain, not only do you become immediately more happy and confident, but then your life becomes incredibly unique, because now you're tapping into intrinsic motivation and you're running your own race, and you block out the noise and you stop worrying so much about the ideals of society. You stop worrying about what other people think, and you really start going deep into your own thinking, deep into your own concepts, ideals. And it's a beautiful mindset for tapping into happiness, confidence, intrinsic motivation, and then ultimately radical success, because whatever you focus on expands. And so if you're focusing on your gains, you train your brain what to see. And so if you start seeing your own gains, measure your own gains every week, every month, every day, then you start creating more gains. And those gains are not relevant to anyone else. They're your own gains. It's you living the life that you want on your own terms. It's you wanting what you want without needing to justify what you want. So it's a beautiful mindset. Down below, click the link, put your email in, grab a free Kindle gift of The Gap in the Gain. Please read it. If you love it, please share it. Please review it. Have an amazing day. Also, if this channel is helping you, please give it a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Have an amazing day.